Alright, buddy. It's your boy Anime. We're trying out a different video today. First time. But I think this is very needed because for some reason I am ranked 99% higher than the actual player base. Right? And I feel like these are some tips that need to be shared because I don't know how in hell I am that high. And most of the player base isn't. But 4 tips on how I hit Grandmaster, right? Tip number 1, being able to play every role, right? What does that mean? Right, that means tank, DPS, and support. Vanguard, strategist, duelist, right? So you get into a game and you only play one role. That will only get you so far. Right? You need to be able to fill for any role that is needed. That's the type of player that I am. I can play every role. I don't per se like to play every role. Definitely strategist. I do not like to play that role, but I can, which if it's needed. Right? I get into a ranked game, solo queuing, or someone instant locks DPS or tank. You need to be able to fill for that role, or play at least be able to play 2 or 3 characters in that role, just in case of bans also. All right. So yeah, being able to fill. I feel like this is a big issue that I would say most of the lower ranks deal with because everyone wants to insta lock DPS. But also knowing every role, like if you know how to play every role or every character or most characters in those roles, it enables you to play better against them, right? If you never played Groot, right, or you never played Venom, it's harder to verse them because certain characters like Venom get more shield at lower health, right? So you want to be able to know these things and how to counter them. So if you play every role, or at least know how to play them, I would say just the basics, then it will definitely increase your game knowledge and game skill. All right. Skill tip number 2, voice chat. Why are we playing a 6v6 and no one's in voice chat? This is not Mortal Kombat. This is not Justice League. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys. Right? You gotta be able to be the spokesperson in voice chat. Some people join voice chat and never say a word. Right? Your ideas or your suggestions or your thoughts might be good for the team. And if you're holding out on the team for whatever reason, not having a mic or just not turning it on, that is you're already trolling, you're already putting your team at a disadvantage, right? Because they could all be mic'd up on the other team, calling out everything that's going on, and you may see something that the rest of your team does not. A Black Panther diving your back line if you're playing heals. Definitely if you're playing heals. I don't know why you don't have a mic on, because you're gonna get dove. You're gonna get targeted first 90% of the time, so you want to have that on for sure. Yeah, and also having that mic on in the 66 can increase morale. These are all things that go into these type of stuff that no one even thinks about. Morale, confidence, even trust, honestly. So having a mic on can definitely increase your games. And even if you don't have a mic, you're not talking actively in the mic, just having it on so others can hear you, or you can hear others, will definitely increase too. Tip number 3, and I think this will separate this separates a lot of people, right? Even me currently. Getting mechanically better at the game. That means aim. How often you're hitting your shots, right? When you reach a certain point, for instance, I'm gonna give a perfect example. Right, you have a Hawkeye and you're playing as a bronze, right, or silver, even gold. the Hawkeye is 0-12. Right? If somehow you reached all the way up to a diamond or iridescent or Grandmaster, and you do not ban Hawkeye, and that person goes Hawkeye, there's a 70 to 80% chance that man's going positive, right? Hawkeye, Hella, these characters are banned for a reason at these ranks. Because at higher ranks, these are people who can hit shots. And if you're hitting your shots, I'm telling you, you're going to feel it, right? Your name will be on the kill feed. Tip number 4, watching replays. I commend this game for its amount of effort they put into the replays, right? I watch. If you plan on taking the game seriously, I would recommend watching replays because you can see the mistakes that you make, even your teammates, right? Or decisions that you should have done or could have done, you know. Also on replays, watching pro players. When Wolverine was called the worst character in the game, I actually went to the leaderboard, I looked for a Wolverine player who had high kills and watched his entire game. And I saw why Wolverine was not bad, right? Watching pro players can teach you how to use characters. It can teach you how to play them better, different routes. There's just so many things you can learn from someone that's better than you, right? And even more so than that, there's so much better you can learn just from watching yourself. Last tip number 5, positioning and target priority. This is something that I think all ranks struggle with. Is positioning, right? You're wondering why you're not getting healed, but it's because you're behind the wall, right? You're across the wall in the next building, right? And your healers cannot get to you. Your positioning can affect the entire team. If your tank, and definitely if your heals, it can affect regardless. But definitely within Vanguard and Strategist, if your positioning is that bad, if there's no heals, everyone dies. There's no tank, everyone gets slammed, right? So you got to watch your positioning. This is something that you can always improve. No matter what rank you are, there is always a better route to go. But you don't know where the other enemy team is behind the wall. So that's why you choose the routes that you go off of sound cues or call outs. But there's always better routes to go. There's positioning is this is the most important one, in my opinion. The position varies based on character that you're playing. So just having decent positioning better than the enemy team will definitely take you up in the ranks for sure. Target priority. Right, this was also included in tip number 5. I see a lot of individuals or players that I play with, or even against, attack the wrong person first. You gotta be able to read the room, read the fight really quickly, because there's a lot going on. It's a very fast-paced game, right? You're seeing things, and say you're seeing things that the other teammates are not, right? And they're targeting the tank, but the healer is literally by themselves. There's no one next to them. There's no health pack next to them, or they used all their cooldowns and no one jumps on the opportunity to take the strategist out, right? These are certain things you gotta be aware of. Awareness can also be included in this. Looking at the enemy team, did they use their cooldowns? Which ults did they use? The habits they use, are they using Groot and Moon Knight ult every time? So these are all the tips that I've used to get to the rank that I am. And I think with these tips and a little bit of practice, and taking my advice, I think you should easily be diamond, because I don't think I'm good at the game, but I ain't that good. So there's no way that you're not there either. But without further ado, if you did enjoy the video, please drop a like, a comment, and subscribe. But also tell me your thoughts too. Any other tips that I may have missed, I would love to hear them. I will definitely comment on it. But all right, rivals, let's get it. Peace.